And we're live. Welcome to Music Matters with Jason Tramm. Thank you so much for joining us for our unique podcast community, where we explore the triumphs and challenges of the performing arts world as seen through the eyes of distinguished artists. Thank you so much for subscribing to us on YouTube, for joining us on all the different social media platforms. Right now, you can see us on YouTube, Facebook Live, LinkedIn Live. You can see us on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify as well. So we've been growing, and we're so excited that you can be here. We have a wonderful artist today joining us. We have the Soap Girls, who are born in France and South African raised. We have Mille and Mie, and we're so delighted they can join us today. Welcome.
Woo! Thank you. Thank you so much for having us. We're excited.
You're our first guest from South Africa. I'm delighted you're here. And so how are things down in Cape Town?
Whoa. Okay. So, first of all, we're very honored that we're the first guest from South Africa.
Yeah.
Rock on. How are things in Cape Town? I don't know if you've been checking the news or it even made it to your news, but
like right now there's crazy turmoil in the country. Like people just going on crazy.
We're laughing because it's just
ravages, yeah.
But so we'll explain it a bit. It's all politically motivated or driven. Most people are really decent. I don't blame people for looting. I do have an issue when people attack civilians and they get violent. I mean, for fuck's sakes, take what you need, but don't get violent to other people for it.
But the government, they said that they're implementing level 4 lockdown again in South Africa. So people just lost their shit because, I mean, no one has jobs and the poor are just even more
destitute.
So
it's fucked.
Everyone is just
COVID
desperate.
has changed everything in society. We went through a lot of this in New York City and in the States, and it's been a crazy, crazy run, hasn't it, for all of us?
Definitely,
yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, initially people were told it's 21 days, and people complied, people were fine,
And then it was a month.
And we haven't gone out of lockdown since last year in March. And the thing is, people have lost jobs, and it's one thing when you have an end goal or like a rough estimate to look forward to, you know what I mean?
But when it keeps moving, then it's like, well...
It's like running a marathon and you don't know when it's going to end. Eventually people can't take it anymore.
And they're just going to lose their shit.
And that's what happens.
What happens, yeah.
So tell us what a normal like summer for you guys would look like. Where would you be? What would you be doing?
Okay, when you say summer, do you mean summer here or summer overseas?
I'm sorry, I'm thinking summer in New Jersey, but a normal June, July, what would that look like for you guys?
Oh, we'd be on tour.
We'd be on tour, yeah. Somewhere in Europe or the UK.
Yeah, and hopefully, by next year, Japan and America, Canada, everywhere we can go, we want to go.
Like usually we are on tour for 8 months of the year.
We never stay in one place for so long. This has driven us insane.
But I mean, it's inspired us to just get more creative in how we can get across to our fans, even though we can't rarely be with them, but digitally you can.
And we've
you
always
guys have been doing incredible work online. I've seen, you just mentioned in the pre-show that you had 4 shows a week you've been doing for this whole time.
Yeah, we've done
nonstop.
I think we've done like over 200
and counting.
Shows. Yeah.
Our house is just full of artwork because we paint themes for like each show except the Monday, which is acoustic,
and then we change the room and the backdrops, and
it's nuts. Yeah, but we love it, and the fact that we've gotten to know people better in a way. I mean,
also people that maybe wouldn't have heard our music or discovered us, they got to discover us during the lockdown, which is really cool.
There were people who said that they felt like committing suicide or that their life was over, and they said for some reason they got onto one of our live streams and the guy said he just started laughing, and he said when he realized he was laughing
he
again,
felt so much better,
and then he said like now he's hooked. That's so fucking sick.
We all know we need the arts, right? When the times are the worst and we're in lockdown and we're separated from people, what's Netflix, watching like performances online, that's really what it's been.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Look, even you know that show Tiger King?
We all love that show.
Everyone watched it.
Everyone can watch
because
that.
I mean, fucking finally had time to watch. Like,
and you're like, what
I'm like, this guy can't be real. He can't be real. This.
I saw a Chihuahua dog on Instagram the other day, and if he was a Chihuahua, this would be him. Like,
wow.
The mullet hair.
I feel bad because on the one hand, I don't agree with what they did or whatever. I think it's shocking.
I think he started with good intentions, and it just got.
I don't think he's all bad. There's a lot worse people out there, and I just, I feel bad for the guy.
Yeah, he's a tragic figure. That's what made him so interesting. He was that exuberant, kind of out there, flamboyant, but also had this tragic flaw. This kind of that's what made it great television. Really captivating television.
Brilliant. It was like a train wreck full of glitter. It was just like.
And then Carol Baskin. I was Baskin. Carol Baskin.
Yeah, no. Carol Baskin.
That's pretty good.
Carol Baskin. No, she was just like this.
Crazy
Catherine.
What the fuck?
And then meanwhile, she's fucking busy plotting everyone's death. You can tell in her eyes. She's like this. Hi, you crazy Catherine.
I killed my husband. Oh. No, sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to like.
I love it.
I just, yeah.
You guys are awesome. So you've been doing music together for so long. Were your parents musical?
Our mom, yes.
She plays piano. She plays the accordion and harmonica.
We were raised by our mom, so everything that we know is like
through her. Yeah.
So she's very musical and creative.
And she's also someone that she actually amazes me. I've never met anyone quite with her like belief and like just going for it. She'll need to build something.
I think her like motto is fake it till you make it kind of thing.
No,
that's
just do
too.
it. I would say just do it. She'll teach herself how to build a stage, do like sound.
I'm like, where the fuck did this come from?
But she doesn't give herself the time or the option to say no, I can't.
Can I say quickly, if he wants your fans to pick up the live, he's got to quickly change his link from the Soapbox Girls.
Okay.
Okay. If you change the link, Sam just interjected. Thank you, Sam.
If you change your link to the Soap Girls instead of the Soapbox Girls, then our fans will pick up the
live
and tune in.
We'll release it again after we get off. People are starting to come on. Yeah, we'll have to release it on the correct link. Sorry about that.
Who the hell?
Call Carol Baskin.
Okay, yeah.
we got another.
So let's tell us about the name Soap Girls. How did you guys come up with the name? And it's got a great story. I read it on a couple of different places online. But how did you come up with the name? And tell us how you came up with it. And when did you come up with the Soap Girls?
So when we were ages
probably about 8 and 9.
Then in South Africa, because we came here from France at a young age. And in South Africa, you can't really ignore that there's a lot of poverty and people in need. And the way our moms brought us up has always been like, don't be selfish, like also think about other people. And
so even if there's a bully at school and they're giving you a really hard time, she says, come with me. And
I'll show you where they live and why they are
acting like this. And so it's very different. Like sometimes you'd get really angry and she'd be like, just come here.
But then when you see where someone lives and their home life, then you're like, okay,
I get it. It doesn't excuse what they're doing, but she's always taught us to look at the bigger picture.
And we saw...
we've always been interested in doing amazing things. Like we love people who like make the world a happier place in whatever way it is that they're doing it.
And we always wanted to be like the Girl Scouts and like
we don't get that
cookies
here.
or whatever. Like you can't really do that in South Africa.
It's a bit dangerous.
It is dangerous.
You get Girl Scouts, but they don't go door to door selling cookies.
They just go camp out in the mountain and I think live off the land or something like that.
I don't fucking know. But
I don't know. And those backpacks look too fucking heavy.
Nah,
so
fuck
we were
that.
like, no,
okay,
we're not doing that. So we saw a newspaper article asking people for help.
You know, like during the Iraq War and everything. So at school, we were seeing all the shit and we were so shocked. We were like, oh my God, these kids and the animals stuck in the conflict, they're innocent.
We said to our mom, can we do something? And she said that is
She said she wants to help.
But in your own backyard, there's a lot more people that you could help and it's more instant. And we were like, okay, well, can we take some of your soaps?
Because we saw, again, an article in the newspaper about government hospitals where the first successful heart transplant took place. It's called Curtis Care Hospital. It's really old.
But people from like overseas or first world countries, they would think, oh, but that's the government's issue. They should be taking care of the public healthcare system. But it doesn't work like that in this country. So we saw this and we said, can we take some of your soaps and then maybe like fundraise for a piece of equipment for the neonatal ward?
Like a humidifier or a ventilator or an incubator.
And it's a lot of money. So
like, it was about $15,000 the first thing we bought.
A humidifier, which was a small piece. And then people were like, oh,
you'll never do
it. Stop now. You're wasting your time.
So we would go door to door, but we didn't want to just say buy our soap. We started singing as soon as people opened their doors.
We did like a whole little skit.
They were shocked. They were like, okay, yeah, I'll buy you soap. Okay. Like,
some people were really fucking rude.
Slammed the door. Get away.
And then we realized it wasn't so safe going door to door. So
and our mom would follow in her car like, where are you girls? And we were like, oh, you're cramping our style.
It doesn't look good.
Yeah.
So we went down to the harborfront, which was like down the
It's a
path
tiny little village.
from
So
our house.
yeah, it's not some dodgy harbor. Sorry,
No.
just putting that out there.
And there were like lots of tourists and like people coming for the Seal Island tourist trips and boats and stuff. So we were like, oh, well, this will be a good place.
And initially we were shy when we would approach people, but we'd start singing and they would be so taken aback.
Because
And
first we'd be like,
hi.
No, we were like, hi, would you like to buy us some?
But now voice was, hi, would you like to buy some?
And then people would be like, no, and they pretend they ignored you.
So we
we're
would
like, we
jump.
We need to amp up our style.
We would like literally run at people and start jumping and then
like,
singing.
Yeah,
And then eventually people would like be like, whoa. And then we would start doing like accents and singing in different languages. We got into the tourist buses. They gave us
What'd you
the
guys
mic,
sing?
and it was crazy. And
Oh,
then,
what did we sing?
Yeah, what'd
like
you sing?
everything. We started singing. We learned happy birthday in every single language
and
first.
how to say the price of the soap and soap in
and
every
what
language.
we were doing. And then then we just started like singing like traditional songs from different countries and shit.
And
even
then-
and what the national anthem
And doing impersonations and
yeah.
and then people
So
were
you
like,
guys
"Oh."
are natural performers. So you're just natural performers, right?
I think so, because even before that we would entertain people who came over to our house.
No, whether they liked it or not, we
Yeah.
like put on a show.
Yeah.
And make up weird little songs and that. And I think
Right.
people were like, these kids are fucked.
They're just
So anyway,
performers. They're stage kids. So that's the way it goes.
we loved it though, and we started going. But the thing was, so we would go and we would sing, but it wasn't just a matter of raising funds, which we did. We bought like everything that we targeted. We bought it, and we were so excited. We would go into the hospitals. We'd see all the things that we were doing, and even our names were up on the donor boards.
But
with-
amongst like big corporate companies.
Imagine
huge-
two children, no one helping us out, people giving us a hard time. We were getting bullied at school for being an embarrassment, because if you're white in South Africa and you street
you do
performing,
or you draw attention to yourself
Ooh.
like that, then it's seen as
like,
embarrassing.
oh God, like Jesus.
But we didn't
Yeah.
care. We just carried on, and people nicknamed us the Soap Girls.
Because
And
we
then-
actually went 365 days a year for 8 years. I think we maybe missed 1 or 2 days, like due to extreme illness or something.
Oh, we did. I remember the one time we went, and I think we had like swine flu or something.
Oops.
It was bad.
Yeah, but it's fine. But the
I just
thing,
remember starting to sing. I was like,
and she
hey,
blacked out.
and then vomited. Yeah,
Oh,
and people
no.
were like, oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was embarrassing. But the thing was,
It set us up for a rock show.
wait.
Yeah.
The thing was, and it's how we are now with our live stream shows, and also how we've always been at live shows. We absolutely love the human connection. So we would go out in the sun, the rain, the wind. It didn't fucking matter. Even if it was just for one person, whether they bought a soap or not, we would end up talking to all kinds of people from all walks of life. And that's how we learned so much about the world. And we would meet people who they had just come back from a funeral and they were fucking down and they were so unhappy. And they were like, Jesus, you made me feel happy again. Like, fuck. Or there was the saddest one ever. I was an old man, and we spoke to him, and then I don't know why we gave him a hug, and
Like,
he
you know,
started,
when something tells you like you should give this person a hug because they need it.
he started crying, and he said that's the first hug he's had in a year since his wife died.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
sad.
There
Well,
were
your-
kids.
obviously, your music affects people because we have drunk Chef Jeff on here who just says that your live streams have given him hope in this pandemic, and the music rocks and a genuine hearts of gold. So thank you. Shout out to drunk
thank
Chef
you.
Jeff.
That's so fucking sweet. And you know what? We feel so fucking infinitely blessed and so deeply happy for the amazing people in our lives and all
Like,
through
our
music.
soap suds are fans. We have the best fans
It
ever.
literally family to us. Like we feel so like connected. Like even when we go to shows, it's like even people we haven't met yet. I know it's like, hey man, hey, what's up? And we know
It's not
we know
like
each other.
even our shows when you do shows.
There's no
then
barrier, no wall
it's
between
not
us
like
and the
we're
audience.
up here and you there.
No.
It's like, yeah, we might be on the stage, but you just
Get
as
up
part
on
of the
stage if you
show.
want, yeah. We
That's-
don't.
That emotional directness is so beautiful today. And, in the old days, the record companies are like a barrier that kind of create plastic artists who you can't really know. But today's indie audiences want to get to know the artists. They want to know what they
That's
stand for. They
great.
want to know why their music's the way it is. That's what we want.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Nowadays, you don't need to hide behind anything. People have become more accepting and people have become more open. Back in the day, I guess, to speak out, maybe if you were different or like in any way,
But
it
I
was a
think-
shameful thing. But now it's like embrace it. You will find the community of people
I think also because
that
you know,
connects.
because maybe everything is with say like social media, so people are connected, but a lot of people also feel very lonely. So to find a connection through someone's words and music and then they have a connection with that artist, then it's something very special to them.
Yeah.
And then they're not alone.
Exactly. And I love that. People put on a CD and there you go. You got all your friends in the room with you.
That's true. That music is such a connection, and we've all needed that more than ever. Have you guys done a ton of songwriting during the COVID period?
We have.
Yeah, we've got
we've done a 4th album, but we've also started writing towards like whatever else in the future. It is sometimes tricky, I won't lie,
because of the live streams, because you painting
and you're so like tied, and also generally how we work, we're on the road, so we have a lot of experiences and a lot of shit going on, so we get back and it's just an outpouring of everything. So but to be stuck in one place sometimes, it's like, but again, seeing all the shit happening around the world, it's given us a lot to write about, but it does make it sometimes tricky. Like you just like,
I need to sit down and get this out, and
but it's like there's so much to say, but fuck, like I still got to do other shit, fuck, and then But
it's amazing how like music is the way that we express things. I mean, it has been forever. Humans process emotion. We go through incredible trials, and some of the most incredible music's born out of the most devastating circumstances. And that's what music's all about: is it processing the emotions we're all feeling and then putting out there. People can connect with it.
And I think also it must be easier for some people because that are maybe more private, so they'll write a song about something, but then it's not that there's like a barrier in between them and the words, it's them, but they'll maybe make it like a story, so they're getting their emotion out, but without people realizing maybe that this is what I'm kind of going through, just so that they are a little bit more, I don't know, protected.
It goes like universal human themes, right? It's the individual transcends that one circumstance, and it goes to everybody. It's pretty cool.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, there's so many songs where you relate to it. Sometimes you hear a song and the lyrics don't mean that much to you until you experience something, and then suddenly you listen to the lyrics and you're like, fuck, that's...
I get it now. I'm conducting Beethoven 5 next week, and I've done it a lot, and I love the piece. I mean, it's one of the most famous most famous pieces in the world. Beethoven was dealing with his loss of his hearing, and as he was withdrawing from society, he was putting it into his music. But today it speaks to us. It's about light over darkness. The whole thing is light over darkness, and we're all going through that today ourselves.
Exactly. No, and it's amazing how things from years and years ago are still relevant. That's what continuously amazes me. Even books from the 1800s, 1900s, you read it and you're like, fucking hell. Like, look, obviously a lot of circumstances have changed, but the shit that people have gone through, it's crazy. It's been the same throughout history.
You know, when
there's a lot of humanity that never changes, right? The love, the loss, the challenges we all face.
Yeah. The like challenges that people have to overcome.
Heartache.
Yeah. All of it.
You know, has anyone ever been like conducting a big orchestra, and then let's say like a wasp flies down their top, and then they're like going like, and then trying to.
I've got an outdoor concert on this coming Sunday, and hopefully that won't happen. But I've had bugs fly in my face. I've had the wind knock a score off the music. I've had music stands knocked over. Anything can happen. That's what makes music interesting.
Yeah, true, actually.
And I know you guys have probably had lots of. What's your most challenging stage accident or something that's gone wrong on the stage with you guys?
Well, one time we did a festival show, and then this guy, he was desperate to take a picture, and he was backstage. He shouldn't have been backstage. He was desperate to take a picture of like. We invite photographers on stage. If they know what they're doing, don't get in the way. It's chill. We love it. This guy awesome. Somehow tripped, and he took out the whole power system. So we were standing on stage like, and no one knew what was going on. And then we did some impromptu like dance, like gumboot dancing, and then it came back on, and then we were like, yeah. It didn't go down very well because the audience was quite hostile as well. It was a punk like show, but like. We were just like, fuck, they're just fuck. Yeah.
So you guys started as singers right from a young age. Did you play your instruments at a young age too, or is that something you developed as you got older?
When I was 12, then I picked up guitar, but I was 13, and I took like a little book with all the chords, and we taught ourselves like every single chord, and then I was like. You know, when you're 12, well, I don't know, maybe it's not the same for everyone, but I was like... We didn't enjoy the pain that much. Like, we did it, but we would pick it up, like, and also on and off. Singing and playing at the same time, for me, I don't know, it wasn't, like, connecting, so I was like, fuck this. And then when I was 13, then I picked it up again, I was like, oh, it makes sense now.
Yeah.
Sometimes
you
you
got to be ready for it, right? It has to work. It has to make sense.
It's so weird though. Have you noticed that? Like, you'll try something and it doesn't really work. You don't really know how to do it. You leave it for a bit, come back, and then it's like, okay, I get it.
Bass for me was just, as soon as I picked it up, I could sing and play it, and I was like, and I've always preferred bass-driven music. So I was like, we both started out playing guitar, but we're very competitive, and she's fucking annoying. So she'd have told me what to do the whole time. I was like, I'm not dealing with this. I will play the instrument you're not playing. And then I took the bass. Nah.
I always find doing the bass line and singing at the same time is tricky because you're doing the bass and the melody. I find that tricky, but pretty cool.
It feels so like normal, like not normal, just like I'm in it. Like, I love it. There's one song, it did take me a while to get it because I'm playing complete opposite. It's a mind fuck. If I even think about what I'm doing or I do it when I'm sober, I can't do it.
Yeah.
It's like very weird, especially with more of the metal songs or the songs leaning to metal. There's some very like weird riffs,
timing, and
if I realize what I'm doing, I'm like, how the fuck am I doing this? And then I can't. So, but there's just one song like that. It's a bitch.
But we were both just self-taught
and everything.
And do you remember the first song you wrote, or what's the first song you can both remember?
Jeez, we have some of them
I think we were on the beach, and then this was me and her.
No, don't say the song.
No, I won't say the song.
So
we took this little notepad.
Someone pissed us off, and they dissed our playing. And we went on the beach, and we were having like a rant. We're like, fuck them, we're gonna show them.
And then we took this little Hello Kitty notepad and this little like pink shiny
and
thing.
they were raging.
And we were like writing all the time. We were like, yeah, that sounds cool.
Fuck you.
Yeah, but now if I heard that back, I'd be like, Jesus Christ, that's awful.
Yeah, but with the rage that was in us, we're like, fuck you. And then
something about that punk ethos, put that down in the music and that kind of raw kind of anger, and what makes punk music so exciting, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I find also, if you write, as soon as you're feeling something, write it. It's the best because you can't recapture that feeling again.
But sometimes it's crazy. Like, you'll just be playing guitar or whatever, and then you hear something like a melody or in what you're playing, and
the words just hit you.
But it's also mad to think, like, if you hadn't been in that place at that time, that song wouldn't have come to you.
It's like picking things from the air. It's like opening portals, and you're like, whoa.
And then you you transcending whatever's up there, and it's channeling through you, and it's weird. You become.
Do you guys write separate? Do you write together? Do you write? How does your writing process work?
We mostly write together, yeah.
Pretty much always together. Generally, like, sometimes I'll start a song or she'll start a song, but I won't do a song completely without her input. I just find all like approaches to music that I prefer. Like whenever it's a two-man songwriting, or two-woman, two-man, whatever, the same thing.
You're the man.
Whatever, man. When it's two people writing, I find that it's just generally, there's more dynamic to it, and I really love that. Like, we have very different tastes, so
yeah.
Tell us about your influences. Who are your influences individually?
Okay, the middle ground for us, I'm just gonna say it is grunge
music.
Like, Alice in Chains is my all-time favorite band.
Love those guys. Man, they were good.
I love them.
I'm old enough. I saw them open for Van Halen when I was in high school.
Oh,
and what a great show that was.
It must have been insane, man.
I mean, those guys opening for Van Halen were like, it was such different musical styles. And I watched a podcast with Sammy Hagar talking about how scared Sammy Hagar was because those guys were so awesome. And he was like, we were dressed like women, and they were like in their jeans, like, what the hell? Because we watched two rock monsters going at it at the same time, but they really liked each other, actually. It's really interesting.
I think that's fucking awesome. There's nothing more epic to hear than like people in music
supporting each other.
Yeah, I think it's epic, especially when it's people you wouldn't have thought would have, like, had each other's backs.
You'd never think those two styles would work together, but boy, they played hard. They played Man in a Box, and it was like,
oh, that's one of my favorite
audience
songs.
went nuts.
Oh man, and also like Mother Love Bone, we both love. Pearl Jam, oh, it's like Nirvana, Hole, L7, and then our tastes go very different. Like,
I like Fleetwood Mac, Marcy Playground, Crowded House,
Local Age,
and
then mine's more like Napalm Death, Lamb of God, than Marilyn Manson.
Definitely heavier.
Yeah. And also, what do I like? there's I love a lot of different kinds of music, whether it's Korn or who else, just
we like music.
Deftones as well.
Yeah, we're not the kind of people that say this is the only kind of music we listen to. Like, if a song is good, then it's good, whether it's pop or rock or reggae.
Yeah, we fucking love like funk music. Oh my god, I love Parliament. I love Bootsy Collins. Fuck, I love that shit. I love like Aretha Franklin. Tina Turner is one of my all-time favorites. Steven Tyler.
I love Neil Young. Like, I think his songwriting is amazing.
What a storyteller Neil Young is, right? You feel a storyteller.
Yeah, exactly.
He grabs you with that weird voice, just grabs you,
And he'll just say like one line, and you're like, "Fuck!" Like, it's just like, Jesus, I never ever thought of that. You
change, like, you'll just stuck in your tracks. And you're like, "Fuck, that's made me like fucking think."
Yeah.
And that's a really amazing quality to have. Tracy Chapman's also like an artist both absolutely love.
Joan Armatrading.
Yeah. Joan Jett as well, Billy Idol.
And I like Mazzy Star.
The reason why we even started playing guitar is because of Billy Idol's song White Wedding. We love the guitar solo. And I think it's Steve Stevens.
Yeah.
We have a question from the audience. Steve Bird asks, he goes, why are your podcasts, why are your concerts 2 or 3 hours long? Most artists tend to do less concerts and shorter concerts. Why do you choose to make them so long?
Because we're dumb.
No, I'm joking.
I don't know. We get in the zone, and even at our shows, we were crazy years ago. We used to do 18 shows at a fucking concert, and we were doing over 100 shows, pretty much all in a row. We were.
18 songs.
18. What did I say?
Wow.
18 shows. 18 songs.
It's a long set.
Yeah.
And then also
not anymore though.
And also then we would talk for like 4 hours with the fans afterwards. And then when you're doing that and going to bed at 5 a.m, driving 8 hours to go to the next place, do the same thing, then your voice is fucked.
Yeah, we are fucked. So
it's not the singing that kills you, it's talking over loud music.
But so our shows, I don't know, for us, when we can connect to people as long as it's possible, then fuck it, we go full out. Generally our show, we do about like an hour and a half max of music, and then we just talk and connect to people.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Has social issues always been a critical part of your writing, like a part of your music?
Yeah,
definitely.
Like we've got songs on YouTube that we wrote about 8-9 years ago, where we spoke out about it. That's another conflict we had with the record label. They wanted to pretend like, the world's a big old happy place. It's good.
And that's great. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But also you do need to address like when things are wrong.
And you do have a platform to speak out about it.
So use it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. From a young age, you guys were signed up for a major record deal. What was it like being young and being thrust into the spotlight like that? I saw you had hits, like #1 hits in Japan and in your home country, and then you started working. What was it like just launching at such a young age?
Initially, it was amazing. The thought of it was like, oh my God.
We tried everything to get signed. Like that's all we wanted. So we put our music.
Dream.
Sending our music out. We got our music onto a Japanese compilation disc, and then that got the attention of the A&R guy
from Universal, and he flew down, and we met him at the airport. But like we started singing, we're like, and the guy was like, oh,
okay, woo, okay. So we signed.
Calm down.
We were excited, and a lot of people were really pissed off, and we lost a lot of people that we considered friends, because they were bitter that they'd never gotten signed, and we were just like, whoa, okay. This one guy had a full-on rant at us like, I've been doing music for years, and I think there's
a saying. It says, if you want to know like how people really feel about you, tell them good news.
But we found out a lot. Like people were fucked off, and it's like, dude, what the hell? But anyway,
so initially we were like, oh, this is a dream come true, and then we were like, we want to do this and these songs.
We had this vision,
and we showed them everything. Like, no, you're not going to do that. You're going to do this. You're going to dress like this. This is what
initially,
you're going to be
we were very young when we got signed, so they gave us like very Disney type songs.
We even hated them. Like these like love songs and that. And we'd never had a boyfriend. Never had kissed, nothing.
So we're like, what?
We kind of lived a very like sheltered life in a certain sense.
Like we traveled through the people that we met selling soap, but that was it. So we were kids. We were just like
singing these like ballady songs. I was just like, oh,
what the fuck is this? So we fought all the time, but
I didn't even understand anything I was singing.
We didn't even have what was I gonna say? We didn't even have a bank account or anything. So the money that the record label put as advance to pay for recording and
put it into
eat,
the producer's bank account. We took that.
Or he was a sound engineer, he did most of the stuff. But
he took that money, and then he had a cocaine-induced heart attack. And then the A&R guy said,
Yeah,
phoned
they
us.
fucked up. They shouldn't have put it in his account.
So the A&R guy, he phoned us. He said, "Can you just like cover my ass here because I fucked up? So we're just gonna pretend that didn't happen.
You can't tell the like MD.
Otherwise, I'm gonna lose my job." And then we're like, okay. And then so we didn't say anything about that.
But we were starving, and then there was no money to finish recording. It was a major fuck up. And eventually, when the songs were like done, it was so late that like it didn't really go with. Like it was a bit like obscene. It was like a tweeny bop song, and we were like older. We were like, this is ridiculous, man.
And then so we did another album, and
yeah, the stuff was really like popular. It went on the radio. We even performed as guest performers on the South African Idol show. But this country's so conservative. Our outfits were
apparently very slutty and shocking.
It's nothing different to what people overseas wore, you know, like pop stars and that.
Like, honestly, there was nothing wrong with our outfit.
It was actually insane. So we were like, the record label told us to lie low for 6 months.
Because we were getting like all this like hatred from these trashy magazines, like woman magazines, like saying
Heat magazine, People magazine,
soap girl sluts, and it's just
can't
like,
believe this was on family. Yeah,
just
yeah.
like crap.
It's performance art. It's performance art. It always has been. Popular music, rock.
No, but it made the song get downloaded. It was only behind Lady Gaga.
So it made people talk about it.
Yeah,
but
fuck it.
The funniest thing for me was the record label. They didn't. We'd never really had any like training on a big live stage or with in-ears and microphones. So the first time that we had was when we did the performance on the Idol show. So you can imagine we were like
quaking in our boots. We were like
I just remember and then my leg was like shaking, and I was like, oh, fucking
shit. Like,
isn't it crazy that you could be performing your whole life and get nervous on a show like that when it's all like this big pressure situations?
Yeah, because the people were really horrible.
No, I wasn't nervous to sing or anything. It was just I knew that because when he stepped out, everyone was like this.
Like the audience gasped, and we were like,
oh fuck, this is gonna be a fuck up.
and it's like it's being broadcast live to a lot of people. Shit.
But we just went with it. Even though the only training that we'd had with a microphone was a fucking hairbrush. So we're just like, fuck. We didn't have access to fancy microphones or just and then on the stage, here's a nice sure microphone, put your inner ears in.
We're like, in-ears? What's that?
It
was bad, man.
It's amazing how fast you learn. How'd that performance go?
Yeah, when you get thrown in the deep end, you start swimming very fast.
Yeah, but anyway, so like, you know, it was cool and we did shows and everything. But again, always fighting for creative control. It was really shit. We should never have hidden away after that. We should have been like, fuck you. The record label should have supported us, but they didn't.
And also they'd take the album and be like, okay, we're going to release it now. We're going to do a releasing. We're like, oh my God.
But they all go on holiday. They never release the album.
They hold it back. You can't just perform the songs without their permission.
At certain venues and that. So we're starving and we're like,
well, what the fuck?
All that work, it's crazy. I guess that's the whole thing is the control, right? They control everything.
Yeah,
everything.
Even you go on a radio, you say one word wrong, they're calling you into a big boardroom meeting, and they say, "What did you do wrong?" And they've got a whole list,
and you're like, "Oh my God!"
Like, and you'd have someone a minder with you there,
and they're standing on the thing, and you're busy talking, and they're busy going like this.
No, like telling you no.
And you're like,
one thing I'm learning about you guys is no one can tell you guys no.
Yeah, right? It's the same. Even when they say don't swear, we're like, oh fuck, oh shit, sorry, fuck, and then it just goes worse. Yeah.
That's why I love podcasts. Is anything goes. We can talk about anything. There's no scripting. There's no kind of. I just love to have these conversations because that's where you really get to know people. You really get to learn what they think about, where the music comes from.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, it's nice to be able to just express ourselves without like worrying about censorship. And so after we got out of our contract, it took a lot of fighting. I think we accidentally sent an email to the
big MD, and
he took himself very seriously. He tried to be the Simon Cowell of South Africa.
So the email was sent and by mistake went to him.
Because he insulted our clothes. He told us burn all our clothes. And then he gave us these terrible outfits.
And then so we had like choice words in this email to say about him. And we sent it to
the wrong person. And we did a weird
skit
about us pretending to be like trashy in the clothes.
Yeah.
It didn't go down very well.
I still remember I was like, oh, my crabs are acting up. Like,
and we were just acting ridiculous in these clothes. We were like,
these are fucking camel toe pants.
Yeah,
like,
it was
ridiculous.
Awful. Yeah. And I don't know. So we just started laughing, and then
he didn't take it well. And let's just say, we finally got out of the contract.
But then we got blacklisted everywhere, and we couldn't do gigs. No one would even record with us because they were afraid of pissing someone else off. It was a big struggle, and to top it off as well, we were illegal immigrants at the time. And they knew that as well. So that's something we'd been threatened with by people as well.
Where were you? Were you in London, or where was that?
No, South Africa.
So
in South Africa.
We born in France and we're French,
but our mom kidnapped us from a young age, took us out of a bad marriage situation with our sperm donor.
Yeah, whatever
you want to call him. And then she took us and escaped with us to South Africa to start a new life.
But you need both parents' signature to sign.
In South Africa, it's really fucked up like that.
Oh.
So
he denied that he had kids, and we were illegal. So we couldn't finish school, couldn't finish anything. And people who found that out always used it to blackmail us that we'd get deported and shit. It was really
terrible.
We went every single day to the fucking Home Affairs. We tried for years.
They're so corrupt here. So it took us, I think the only time that we were legal was
just before we went to America. I think it was like 2012 or 2013. Actually, no, I think we still had a relatives permit visa. We've been legal for a long time now, but it took many years. It was really shit.
It was like a very uphill battle.
So for when we got blacklisted in the South African music industry, we had nothing. We couldn't even we needed to find a job just to be able to pay rent. We were completely fucked because also we had money saved from the shows, but we were robbed. We had every instrument we had stolen. Our mom had a little jewelry.
Literally, it was just hit after hit after hit.
And we even did skits and jokes about it. Like, it sucks when you don't have money, and we put it on YouTube. We were fucked, man. And there was a point I was gonna sell my own fucking blood. I was just desperate. And then I was like, could I be a stripper? And then I was like, no,
we could never be strippers because we just started laughing.
No, and also we were like, what the fuck are we gonna do, man? And it was just bad. And then
the artistic journey is always a hard one, and I know a lot of artists who went through incredibly hard times this last couple of years, because whether you were a Broadway player or a Metropolitan Opera or an opera singer or a rock person, all the performances stopped, and we all had to say, how can we be relevant and make art still? So you guys being so incredibly creative, I'm sure you guys, how did you turn the tide, get out of that contract and develop your huge audience you have now?
Okay, it's okay. Wait. It's a weird story, but one thing, we've never ever lost faith or hope in what we believe in. So even when we were starving and we were completely fucked, we knew we weren't going to give up. So basically, we did whatever it took to get legalized. And this woman eventually at the Home Affairs, she was like, fuck this, I can see what's going on. And she said, come here.
I'm probably going to lose my job for this, but I'm just going to give you the stamp.
I'm going to give you the stamp, because she saw it. She said, I know what's happening to you guys. She said, your files are getting taken and they're thrown out. She said, I know what they're doing. And
But then, so that happened.
I'll never forget that woman.
And then we continuously uploaded YouTube videos of our songs and
also then we started waitressing, which we'd never done, and it inspired a song called Champagne Cocaine. It was heavy. I mean, it was very difficult. People would recognize us from TV. What a fall from grace. And oh my God, what are you doing here? And insult us. It was really shit. It was very difficult. People trying to take photos. Oh, look at them now. And it was really shit, man. But you know what? We didn't give a fuck.
People love to kick people when they're down. That's
Initially, though, I will say I was a little bit in a dream, the fact that we were at this
place. We watched a movie called Waiting for tips on how to do it. It's a fucked up movie.
But even when I was doing it, I was like, this isn't real.
This is fucked, dude.
I'm busy doing this. This is crazy.
And
but then it's dude, you need to get your head out your ass and just
and we did it. We were like, this isn't all we're gonna do. And I just want to explain also how fucked it was. So we couldn't afford the rent, so we had to move across the mountain, and we had to run a fucking mountain every single day
to get to the work because we couldn't pay the toll.
And this mountain,
it's very George.
It is.
I don't even know when I look at it.
We drive on it now.
Jesus Christ, we ran there and then back
after double shifts. What the fuck were we thinking?
I think desperation, you can do anything.
You can fucking anything.
You have to.
And we would save up. We started buying bits of equipment, a small amp. Then we bought the guitar. And the guy at the music shop in the next village,
very sweet. He was like, you know what, I'm gonna.
We went in and we were just testing out things and singing and playing. And then he said, you know what, I'm gonna give you this guitar for free. And we were like, what the fuck? And from there we started doing gigs, and it helped. And we started uploading videos onto YouTube. Actually, we got in contact with people who were like, come over to America, let's record in New York. So we were like, fuck yeah.
Because they heard like the songs that we were uploading. And then we flew to America. We went into, I think it was called Mercy Studios. It's where Blondie
was recorded and everything.
In New York. And then
in New York, I would say I know the studio well. That's great.
Oh, that's so cool. So
I'm a New Yorker, so that
Hey.
What was it like coming to New York?
What was it like?
Oh, our minds. We were like, what?
Whoa.
You can walk around. I dropped my bag and this kid ran up and gave it back to me. I was like, fuck, this would never happen. Where are we from? And
then the police, when we were like, wow, they look like movie stars.
The guy looked like Freddie Prinze Jr. Everything was clean. The fire truck was like, whoa. And they had Mr. Softy. We were like, what?
Whoa.
And if like,
it was so funny. People would be like, y'all never had a Mr. Softy?
And we're like, no.
Y'all gotta have a Mr.
And
Softy.
we had one. It was cool, man.
Yeah.
And then we were recording and everything was great.
Oh no, and the thing, they're like, oh, y'all gotta taste artichoke pizza.
And we're like, what?
No, you don't.
Yeah, it was a bit overrated, sorry. But okay.
But,
keep your veggies off the pizza.
No, it wasn't artichoke on the pizza. The place was called Artichoke or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just
yuck. Yeah. Same thing. Keep the away from the pizza.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. But so yeah, we recorded. But again, the problem that happened was the same thing with the record label.
They saw something else and they took the music that we'd done and then they turned it into EDM music.
So
which
even
is cool, but
it was like really cool. Even I won't lie, we got the music, and if it went on to radio now, it would
do well.
It would go very well.
But it's not the sound, or
maybe one day, like, you know, just as a side thing we could do it. But we were like, we've just come away from this. You know, even the record label. One thing that we've always stood for is like freedom and empowerment. Dress how you want in your own skin. But we were underage as well, and they put us in magazines like FHM. That wasn't our thing at all, and we were just like, wow, this is they were like, oh, this is great. No, it's not great. Like,
it's shit.
It's shit.
Because I wouldn't have said yes to that.
Never, man. And that's, again, it was a taking of our image, who we are,
and plus you didn't pay me for that,
and putting your own spin on it. But it's like, that's not who we are. We wrote these organic songs, and
so then we said, and they wanted to give us a lot of money with this contract.
This big record label was going to sign us, and then we said they tried to fly us to California, and
we said to Sam, you know what, we don't actually, this isn't.
We can see it. They give you a whole lot of money, and then you just fucked. Golden handcuffs, you fucked. And we were like,
those golden handcuffs, interesting. So you've been through this before. You saw that coming, and what was it like to turn that down?
We're not gonna lie, like everyone was like, you're fucking idiots,
because we were hungry and
we had nothing. Like when we went back home, then it's like, you have nothing, like, so what are you doing?
At the same time, we were like, it's not where it's at, we can't do this. So we continued, and we just
flew back, and then we just kept
writing and uploading, and then someone else contacted us
from England, and they said, you know, I think you should come.
I love what you stand for, everything you're doing.
I think you should come this side, and there's a lot of venues that would want you to
I would
pay.
love to book you for a tour here. And we were like, yeah, this guy's a scammer.
Because I mean, you know, you hear things all the time like, oh, I'm gonna make you famous, I'm gonna make you a star.
And we were just like, yeah. Okay, fine, book the tickets, book it, come on.
But then he did, and then we were like, oh shit. Okay,
we need an album, fuck. And we were like, shit. So we had 16 songs, and we were like, shit. Like in 2 days we had to finish this album.
Where did you record it?
In Cape Town. We were like, you're a drummer, you coming on. And then we just, it was nuts. It was fucking nuts.
That was the first album, Calls for Rebellion.
It's very raw.
When we listen to it now, we're like, oh my god.
Wow, there's a lot of shit that I wish I'd had the money and the ability to like have done better, but we didn't have that.
No,
so,
and time was
not. You have to prove yourself with these things, and you got to produce under very challenging circumstances, and sometimes those raw moments are some of the most interesting.
That is true. And so we took this album, then we went overseas. We couldn't even afford to print it out, though. It was just recorded, and we go on this tour with no merch, idea,
no nothing,
no fuck all.
And obviously, like, you know, when you're touring, that's how you survive, on your merch. Because, like, I mean, shows, they don't really.
Yeah. And it was crazy. So we did this big show, and we were the support band for this girl rock band. and they hated us. They were really like
Which
ugly.
is fine.
They
Whatever.
dissed us, and then the whole audience, every single one of the people who came to see them, ended up being our fans.
And then we're like, oh,
We were
Karma's
like,
a
okay.
bitch.
Yeah, it was pretty sick. But and no one knew what to expect. They were like, "What? Our stage show is always been different. It's very
different.
interactive. We watched a lot of shows like over the years, and we always watched as like, you know, the sport band or the audience member, like
But when we
what
say
we don't like about what they're doing.
When we watch shows, we'd never been like to a live
Just watching
show,
the
just on
other bands
like on YouTube or videos or
No, but ourselves also, like say we shared a show with people and they were the headliner, we'd watch them and be like,
wow,
"Oh,
they're so horrible to their crowd.
so shit, man." And we were like, "No, we'll never do that." So we watched it, and then we started like getting a name for ourselves, and people started following us from show to show, and then the newspapers were like, "You're getting like a culture," and then we were like, yeah, it's fucking
cool.
sick. And then we just made such an epic connection with people, and then the next tour
just every time was
longer and bigger and crazier and more, and every year it's such a beautiful big family, literally a community.
Even like our merchandise, I'm so proud of, because the first
Do you guys design your merch? Do you design the
Yes.
Sam does most of it. Like we all put our creative thoughts, but she does it. She's insane.
But like the first merch that we had, when I look back at it, I'm like, oh my god,
we couldn't afford to find a merch company to print or anything.
So you know, when you go to, let's say, like in your local area and people print out, say,
best dad
or a picture of your wife on
or
the t-shirt,
dog on a t-shirt,
and then you pay for that. So we basically like paid for something like that.
It was terrible, man,
and it was so expensive, but so shit.
And
first time going through something new, it's gonna be kind of growing pains, right? But
even
where can people go to find your merch now? Where can they go to check this stuff out?
Okay,
if you go onto www.thesoapgirls.com or even Facebook
or Shopify, you'll
type
find
in the Soap Girls merchandise
and you'll find the links.
Instagram.
But again, we are so fucking proud. I'll never forget the days, like even to have like 2 comments on Facebook or Instagram. We're like, yo, dude, 2 comments.
Not that having lots of likes or whatever is any, I don't know.
But I'd rather be like crying like shit, there's 10,000 fucking things to reply to. But like it's awesome. But I'll never forget having 2, or like you don't forget these things, and we're so fucking grateful. That's one thing I will say we never forget.
It's amazing how the internet has leveled the playing field. We had an actor on the show, our first actor. He's got 3.5 million followers on social media, and he does comedic sketches on TikTok, on YouTube, and like 900,000 followers on YouTube. He was such an interesting guy, and now he's built such a big audience for himself that studios hire him because of it.
That's so cool.
That's the amazing thing about social media, is that
the power is in your own hands.
Exactly, and you create what you want people to see.
It's no longer up to a television station to show videos. People want real. That's why they're going onto YouTube as well. They want that connection. They want things that they choose to see, not just shit that's given to them. It's the same with music.
Like, look at even fucking people that do those ASMR videos or those mukbang videos. Like, they have
my daughter
millions.
loves those.
I was gonna say my daughter, and then I was like, oh, you know my daughter, shit, my sister. Shut up, man.
I don't know what it is, like watching people eat. Like,
nah, I get picked up by
I don't get
it. When I first watched it, when I was like, what the fuck is this? But then I was like, ooh, I like this.
I can't. I have misophonia. I go fucking mental. If someone chews weirdly, I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna kill you. And then I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, if someone has a dry mouth, I'm like, drink the fucking water. And people look at me and I'm like, I'm so sorry. Or like, I hit my head. I'm like, I can't take it. I'm gonna fucking go mad. I thought I was crazy. And then I researched, and it's like, there's other people like me. Fuck. Sorry.
The internet shows there's always people like us all. We all have our craziness. And hey, shout out to Ashen Dragon, who says,
yo, Ashen Dragon!
His dad loves you. He's saying you can find your merch in his dresser or her dresser. I love that. You're getting a lot of love in the chat here. I'm really enjoying reading the chat features. Everyone's really having a great time. They're saying how much they love your music and how real you guys are. And you can't fake that. You know, like the conversation of you guys are so much fun. I can see why I'd love your live shows.
Oh, thank you.
That fucking means everything
Yeah,
to us,
same
you know?
with you.
Yeah, you
have
also
a cool energy.
some people, oh my god, like you talk and everyone keeps, I know like sometimes I talk over people, I feel so bad, but I'm just so excited. But some people it's like and then it's just like awkward and we all talking and it's like, oh no, you go.
And then everyone's silent and you're like,
no, you go.
no,
Oh,
there's
sorry.
like this, mother, can you hear me?
And then there's like crickets busy like doing a sex tape in the back. It's just so awkward and you're like, fuck man.
So do you guys ever fight?
Yes.
Oh,
of course, yeah.
We used to pretend we didn't fight.
We were like,
No, we would never fight. We're great friends. But some of our songs, it's like this. I'll be like, dude, let's fucking do this. I'm in the mood for a song. And she's like, yeah, I'll fucking give you a song. And then she's like beating the guitar. I'm like, yeah. Or she'll be playing and I'm like, nah, dude, that's lame. It's so like happy. And she's like, I'll fucking show you happy. And then she's like breaking the strings. I'm like, yes.
Or if we're busy writing a song and then I have like basically the whole song and she's like, oh, you're writing the whole song now.
Huh?
Okay,
I see how it is.
and she's like, well, it's fine, you just go do your own band then.
Well, it's the same when I write a song. You throw shit at me.
Everybody does.
Shut up, man. No. We do look. We're very different, but we share a lot of the same beliefs. We're on the same wavelength.
Of course.
And one thing about being
she's a Taurus, I'm an Aries.
But
so.
one thing about being siblings and also doing music, even if I fight, she's the only person that I will try. I will never let my ego get in the way of me being able to be like, for the sake of the music.
I think
I think
also, you know, being in a band, say with people that, they can be your friends or whatever, you've known them a long time. Unfortunately,
if I fought with someone else, I'd be like, that's it, you're done. But with a sister, man.
Tougher with a sister, I agree. That's important.
But not even that. It's just like, I don't know, we found that you can't really rely on other people.
Yeah. So
they
even
always let you down.
Like we don't,
because they don't have any.
Their life doesn't depend on you both being successful, but we both depend on each other for everything.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we're independent, but
I know I need her. Like if she died, girl, you better not die because I'd be fucked.
Well, it's the same with you. Like I can't. Even we used to speak at the same time.
Yeah.
And
everything we said would be the exact same time.
But then, like the first date I ever went on, I was like, waiting for her
to finish the sentence. Same, even
she wasn't there, and I was like, oh, hey,
I would
man.
never go in the shop alone, and then like I would go in the shop and someone would talk to me, and I'd say like
half
the sentence, and then I'd wait and be like, where's my sister to say the other half?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we are very different. We've gotten better at being like individual, but like we do. How can I say this? We'll fight, but it never lasts long. Like, I mean, for goodness sake, what siblings don't fight? I would be freaked out if she was like, you're still lovely. Like, would you like some pancakes today? Yes, thank you. Oh. No, we're like the best of friends.
Yeah.
But we can be mortal enemies just for a few hours.
But like, say if we were fighting and then someone else came and they were like, oh my God, you're just such a bitch. I'd be like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, humans are gonna fight. It's just natural, especially when you're together so much. I read about the bands. I'm always fascinated with the bands I love, like the super famous ones, like the Police, for example, who couldn't stand each other after like a couple of years. Isn't it amazing that they can't reconcile and that it just gets so toxic?
I know.
That's no shit. Though.
Same with Fleetwood Mac. They all travel separately. What the fuck,
unbelievable.
Man?
Did you watch that Metallica documentary? And then they had to have the fucking therapist in there.
Oh my God.
If we ever get like that, please kick me in the head.
Even sometimes, there were some shows like where, I don't know, one of us was like pissed off and then it's like, I'll turn my back on you. And I'm like,
and then I try and interact with her and then she's like,
fuck you.
No. But then you realize it's costing the audience.
Yeah.
So you can't do that.
No, or like I don't know, we won't, look, I would rather reconcile with you every time.
But sometimes I will say one thing. I think when you're in a band with siblings, maybe how you talk to each other.
It's terrible for other people. Hey, man, would you like a cup of coffee? Fucking make the coffee now. Sorry.
Because I don't know, because you
take it, you fucking bitch. It's heavy.
And then you take for granted that they're always going to be there, and they have to love you no matter what.
And then I'm like that. You use that tone on me again, and you'll never have a sister. And then I walk away. Did you just use that tone on me? fuck you, take your amp. And then and then to the drummer, hey, we'll help you out. To each other, pick your fucking amp up.
Now you have different drummers, like you guys are the steady part of the band. How do you bring in other musicians? Have you found that to be helpful? I've noticed a lot of bands I've had on the show, indie bands, who've done a lot of similar, like there'll be like a core to the band, and then they'll bring in other parts as needed.
Yeah.
You know what it is? Because we're siblings, we've literally given up and sacrificed everything to do the music. We've never found someone that's willing to do that as well. So the thing is, we find it's more refreshing to use session drummers.
Musicians, because then it's just like, this is your thing, you do it, and that's
there
it.
Doesn't have to be any like weird issues where someone's like, I want to write the songs. Because I'd be like, look, you will change the dynamic of what we're doing. I've never found someone else in a musician that I've thought they're willing to go the mile, go hungry.
And also it's a trust thing, because a lot of times like we've trusted people and then they've just dropped us like that, and then we're like, fuck, okay,
fuck this,
well,
man.
Thanks, you don't have any loyalty, do you?
Like, we're very loyal, so we get ready like shocked.
We get it's like a
jolt, like,
yeah,
fuck,
it's like
man,
a kick in the face. It's like, fuck, we were gonna
go on a tour and you were already in another band. Well, okay, fuck, man. It's just
I mean, I get it, I understand,
but then
like,
be honest.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we could have like moved on. But okay.
Like, we've had a lot of experiences with drummers.
A lot of weird experiences.
Okay.
Well, Nirvana went through like 5 or 6, I think.
Yeah.
So you know what? It's okay.
That is fine. Session, whatever.
We do appreciate like the difference. Like you work with different people. It adds a new dynamic.
And you learn things from different people. Yeah.
So, yeah. And even one day, like when we've got the budget and we need it, like on a massive festival, we might get an extra guitarist, you know?
What?
No, dude, come on. You even said it. Fuck off. Don't act surprised now.
When we get another bassist, huh?
Yeah, why?
You can stand on the stage and dance.
Oh, all right.
No, I'm joking.
But yeah. Oh God, speaking of that, you know, Oasis, they're one of our favorite bands, but I also love the fighting. I mean, the one brother went up on a balcony and spat and booed his own brother while he was trying to struggle to sing
because he refused to help sing the parts.
Because he was
the singer. Wild.
Yeah, that's fucked up, man. I think it's bloody funny. That's
I would
hilarious.
never do that to you.
I would. I mean, what? No.
I saw the Stone Temple Pilots open up for. I saw the Rival Sons open up for the Stone Temple Pilots. Of course, I grew up with the Stone Temple Pilots. They were huge when I was in college, and to see them at a small venue right near where I live, and the Stone Temple Pilots are 2 brothers, just like you guys, and they were screaming at each other on the stage. They were just like the bass player was screaming at the other brother. It was hysterical, and we're watching them have a fight as they're going through this set. I'm like, that is so funny. I was close. I could see it.
I love it. I'm sorry. It just shows you it's just like, real.
Marjorie, bring your popcorn. They're going to go at each other.
No. Like, I don't know. I think it really adds a different dynamic. Wasn't it also the same with the Beach Boys?
Yeah, they hated each other.
Man.
Same with...
the mamas and the papas had issues, but I think that was incest.
What's the ones that go... yeah, you can't tell by the way I'm...
The Bee Gees.
There we go.
Bee Gees, oh yeah.
Also,
I think that crackling energy is part of what makes the stage show exciting.
I definitely think so.
Definitely.
I mean, I've seen bands where they're all stirring up their minds and they're like peace and love, and the show's kind of boring.
Yeah.
So I kind of like a little bit of an edge to it. So
or like a little bit of tension is good. Yeah.
Did you hear what that drummer said about you? Your loser. Right. I mean, what? No, it is cool. Look, obviously don't want conflict too much, but Axl Rose, I would have gone just to the show just to watch him being a douchebag.
Oh, he was the legendary douchebag. Yeah.
Thanks to the lame ass security, I'm out of here.
But I gotta say, I saw them at Giant Stadium a couple of years ago, and him and Slash never get on the same side of the stage. Like, they don't even like each other. Like, it's the craziest thing. But the show was awesome. I mean, they got up there and they rocked the house. It was Giant Stadium. It was amazing.
It's so ridiculous. I think people get too spoiled and then they let their diva egos get in the way. When people are struggling and they don't even have a fucking dressing room, you see, they end up friends fast.
Oh, I love you, brother.
You gotta have each other's backs. And then suddenly people need a fucking makeup room for, I don't know, the ego. Bloody hell, man. Come on.
It's just wild. Yeah. I look at like someone like them and they can't even stand each other and be in the same room with each other. And I look at someone like Rush, who was one of my favorite bands, and they loved it. They were like cool guys, just chilling out and like, serious artists, but all about the music.
Seemed the same, the band, the Eagles. It just seems like they all got along a lot.
But even Pink Floyd had a lot of issues and stuff. Just
I think when you're with people for like, especially, you know, like on tour, even in close proximity, then obviously like things are gonna,
you see the best and the worst.
I think it's good to fight though, like, because imagine
That's how you grow. That's how you grow.
Exactly. Imagine you're in a relationship with someone and you never fought once, and then so you've never seen that side of them, and then one day like they lose their shit at you, and then you're like, oh my god, and you're like, who's this person? And then it just doesn't work.
No, I don't like fighting. If someone lost the shit at me, I'd be like, yeah, you single, enjoy it. I'll walk away.
No, man, not losing that shit. But like, obviously, you're not going to agree on everything.
No, of course. But if you can't like do it civilly, then like,
no, of course.
Yeah,
that's what a punch up is for.
Well, sometimes I've dinged her guitar because I've thrown my bass up and it smashed one of her gems. Yo, she was furious, and then I was like, "What? You're gonna fight me here?" And then there's been like a bit of a tiff on stage, and I'm like, "Wow!" Oh, she hit me in the face with her guitar.
Not on purpose.
Yeah, I was headbanging. Why'd you bring your fucking head up right there, bro?
Because
right
you came
there.
like right
nah, bro. But it's fine.
It happens. It happens.
I was drunk. It was fine. But the black eye I had, I was like, "Fuck." Yeah.
So what's the craziest story you've had on stage? You guys have been performing for so long. What are some of the wildest moments, each individually? Like, what's like something that happened that you'll never forget?
Probably this one guy on stage in England trying to have sex with the other guy on stage while we were performing.
Oh, that also happened in France.
Sounds distracting.
Yeah, I was sucking the other guy's,
and we were just like,
thing, and we were like,
okay,
well, all right.
It's always with the song "Bad Bitch" because like we bring people up on stage and we get them to sing,
but people just, they kind of lose it. What's the most fucked up thing I've ever seen? There's a lot of fucked up shit. I've watched someone down the alcohol that we have on the stage, and then the paramedics had to come and resuscitate them. Yeah, I thought the guy was dead, and actually said to our manager, "You're gonna have to take the fall and go to jail." It was pretty bad. I won't lie. I was actually scared.
So basically, we played a show in Scotland, and we have this drink called the One-Eyed Willy, and people come on
it's
stage.
It's a bottle covered in pubes from different venues. We asked people for cuttings of their pubes,
and then we threw it on, and it looks like penis. But then, so people drink from this bottle, but like they get cheered on by the crowd, and you only drink as much as you can. You don't have to finish everything. Like just drink as much.
I
as
have
you
a strong
can.
alcohol tolerance, so when people go down, I'm always like, "Geez, what the fuck?"
So we played this show in Scotland, and it was a strange gig because
very strange. People were in their suits,
in like business suits kind of thing. So
really?
we're like, okay.
Yeah, very.
But by the end of it, so we had a first guy come up on stage.
Every show is different, and we had people throwing eggs and flour.
No, but we had him stripped down, and he was wearing, one of those
Borat style gold mankinis.
He wore that. He put that on, and then this guy that must have been in his 70s came up on stage. He took a sip of the drink, and then he had quite a bit of the drink.
But not too much.
And then he also stripped down, wore an adult diaper, and then we gave them eggs and flour and shaving foam. We said, now just pelt the audience.
Yeah, fucking
and then
ape shit.
Initially, people are like, "Oh no, I can't
do this."
And then they're like, "Throw it in," and then they get like, "Oh, this is cool." And then they start like, and we're like, "Oh fuck, they're gonna kill someone." And then everything was fine. Then the guy got off stage because the song finished, and then he was standing in the crowd. Someone threw an egg,
hit this guy in the head. He
and
killed over.
He was like out cold, and we were carried on playing. And then I noticed, I was like,
people were hitting him awake, and he wasn't getting up. And I was like, oh god,
I think he's dead.
We stopped playing, and the people, no, carry on, fucking play it.
Like,
don't stop.
No, I think that guy.
We were like, no. We're not starting till someone get that guy awake.
And then the people were like, oh no, I think we need an ambulance. He's not breathing. And then we were like, oh.
But the owner of the venue locked the doors, and he walked up to everyone and he said, I'm warning you. He came in here drunk. That is the story. You stick to it. And he said, no one say another word. He came in here drunk. And because he locked, he said, anyone who changes the story, you're going to be fucking sorry. And he like went mad. He shook his fist in everyone's face. He said, I'm telling you now. You say that man was drunk when he came in here. And we were like, okay, yeah.
And then the ambulance came in. You can imagine their faces when they walk in. Everyone's like half naked, covered in shaving foam, flour, and eggs.
Guys, like,
and then they're looking around like, what the fuck is happening here? And then they go, and they had to like use the defibrillators on this guy, and he came to eventually.
But he got wrapped up in foil like E.T.
E.T. and foil, this little old man. And then his wife came. She was not happy with him. Like, she wanted to beat the shit out of him, you could see.
But also the owner of the venue explained to us, he apparently is a village idiot with one kidney.
He just had a kidney operation.
Transplant.
He shouldn't be touching any alcohol.
So he said, I'm not losing my venue for this. And he said, I'm running everyone. He was drunk.
So
we're like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, for all the bands I've had on the show, that's the kind of craziest thing I've heard. That's awesome.
I won't
least you
lie.
lived.
I was like on the brink of tears. I was like, this fucking guy's dead. And I said to Sam, I said, you're going to go to jail. I said, please, just this guy's dead.
You have to go to jail
fuck, this guy's going to jail. Fuck. I was like, he's dead. He's fucking dead. A guy fucking died at a show. I was like, oh my God.
That's happened many times in some of the shows where they've drunk the drink.
But they were on drugs. And then
But see, this is the problem. They mixed it with something else. And even this one show in Manchester, this 19-year-old, he came up on stage, drank some of the drink, but I think he was a little bit like too rowdy afterwards, and they kicked him out of the venue. He wasn't happy about this, came back a few minutes later with a samurai sword, started stabbing people. And then
this was on our first tour.
The whole venue had to get shut down, and then the cops came in, and it was just like,
yeah.
Jesus.
But what they did, they like kicked him. We were like so upset. It was just.
But he'd just been released from jail for murder or something. So
young guy, and oh God, that was also one of the most like fucked up things. It was bad.
Imagine he's just like stabbing people with this sword, and we were like, oh my God.
It was just heavy, but they were heavy-handed with them, but still fucking hell, man.
And also we played a show
with fans who get crazy. So you guys are on the social media, you're everywhere on social media. How do you deal with crazy fans and negative energy? Because we all know how great that social media can be. It can launch you to stardom, it can launch you, get your name out there. Well, how do you deal with the negative parts of social media?
Well, our fans are amazing, but obviously you do get people that are trolls and dickheads, especially behind a screen, because you're not face to face with the person.
You know what personally helped, I think, but I don't know if you'll actually agree with this, but we've always done a Monday live acoustic video, even before lockdown, for years and years and years. We actually had a previous Facebook page that had 100,000 fans that we'd met over 7 years, but it was shut down on a website
in South Africa because
everything was gone.
We said something contrary to or controversial to the
government
president. Yeah.
So anyway, we used to do videos. That why I'm explaining is that there were like hundreds of videos. So we'd do like a Monday acoustic every time, and we would have sometimes the most 150,000 people. I don't know, there was this troll group and they would just diss us. 150,000 people saying, I hope you die,
go
I hope
kill
you get
yourself.
AIDS, you should have been gassed, you Jews, like all the shit. And we were like,
flat-chested trannies, oh, look at that boy.
Fuck you, I'll kill you, I'll rape you in a gutter. And you just like
the most heinous things.
First we were really shocked and we'd get angry and we were like upset.
But then afterwards you're like, this is a fucking joke.
Like, who the fuck is this? Like, how fucked up are these people?
Someone in their mom's basement, yeah.
But it was actual groups, and every Monday 150,000, I think sometimes 200,000 people commenting, dissing you at the same time.
And always with the when's the couch auction? Oh, shoe on head, put your shoe on your head.
And so we were just
dumb
like,
shit.
What the fuck? And then like we just started laughing. We were like, you know what, fuck this. And I think after that we got over it. You get horrible shit happen. At the end of the day,
like if someone's gonna be a troll, if they're good at it, then it's like, oh, fair play to you, you know?
Yeah,
that was a good one. That was a good dig. But if they shit, then it's like, dude, you need to go back and study to be a dick harder. Because
I mean, I'm all for freedom
of expression. Work on your material.
Yeah. You can't shut down someone for saying ugly things just because you don't agree with it. That goes against freedom of expression. I do, however, wish that people use that expression to stand up for something amazing, like fight for animal rights, fight for equality and things like that.
Or fight against pedophiles and rapists, kind of shit.
But they don't. And so for me, the thing is, dumb words, I'm not really into words with people. I'd rather have a good old fucking fight. Come, get in the street, let's fucking punch it out. I mean, how lame. You're a loser. Oh, you're a loser. Oh, you hurt my feelings. Nah, fuck it. I'll strangle you. Rather go in the street. Sorry. I don't mean to be rude or violent.
But even it doesn't matter. Like, people can say the ugliest things or whatever. It's like,
I don't care.
No one's harsher on them. Like, you can't say anything.
My own family, I've said worse.
Exactly. I say worse things to myself. So it's just like, is that the best you got? Really? I'm harsh on myself. So.
Nah, that's nothing. Yeah. I mean, still, at the end of the day, if you get so affected by everyone's words,
then you might as well just stay in bed because you're going to be fucked.
And, like, the whole world will control you. Fuck, man. Let your ego... You know what? It is horrible. It is hard. Sometimes people will say something and you like... it makes you angry because of everything you go through and that. And
I just feel bad, especially for young kids like in high school or even in college, and they have to,
or anyone
so
with like a fragile mind. It's horrible.
They'll get bullied at school, and then they go home, and then they have to face it again on social media. That is not cool.
So we hope to inspire other people to see us. We will get hated on, but we don't stop. So that's one thing I love, that people get that confidence to be like, you know what?
I don't give a fuck. Say what you want.
I will wear glitter. I will do what I want. I will stand up and be myself.
It's an important lesson to learn. It's the most important lesson to learn. You got to stand up for yourself. You know, it can be a tough world out there, and you know, can't have a thin skin with this, especially with the internet. People feel so emboldened to make any comments they want.
But also,
you know what we even said one day, like,
no, don't say it.
No, just listen.
I have a very sick fantasy.
No, I'm not gonna go that far.
Okay, mine's really fucked up.
Imagine you had like a
mine's sick.
Imagine you got hold of the IRL like address, and then you could pinpoint it and track down this person that's saying like horrible stuff. You ring on their doorbell, knock on the door, and then they answer, "Hi, it's me, the tranny that you keep dissing on the social media." They would fucking shit themselves.
No, my fantasy would be to track them down. I would case them for a week. I'd follow them. I'd watch them. I would find what their car looks like. I would wait for them to be out. I would pay maybe 10 homeless people, actually no, 50 homeless people, to fuck, shit or defecate, jerk all over the car, jerk in the car, fucking jizz all over it, and then I would have the video, okay, and then I'd send it to them and I'd say enjoy. There you go.
You're too busy. You don't even have enough time to, you know, do your shows.
No, exactly. No. But you see, that's why I said it's a sick fantasy. I wouldn't do it, but I'd love to see that.
That's funny.
But what's called? I would. What's called? Because they can wash the car, but 50 people fucked it. Your car's a hoe. I'm sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to be rude about like if someone sleeps around, but man, that car got banged up.
So, what does being a punk band mean today? So being punk artists, because it's been around since the mid-'70s. So what does it mean to today's society to be a punk artist?
You know, for us, we don't put a label on ourselves and say that we are punk music. It's other people that usually call us that.
We're always like, whoa, okay.
Even when we'll play like say a punk festival, and then people will be like, oh, you're not punk, but you're not this, and you're
actually weirdly enough. In Europe, people immediately always say we're like punk grunge. They're like, you're punk. This rebellion, this attitude. They're like, you're punk.
But then
in England,
and then it's a bit, I don't know. People get what's the word?
Touch if you don't have a mohawk, you don't look the part.
Tyrannical about it. So
and
you don't have
elitist.
Piercings and tattoos, and you don't have the hairy pits.
After the show, they're like, I get it, and fuck yeah. And
it's not everyone, but
punk is having a message. It's about standing up to injustice. It's about standing up and speaking your mind, no matter how many people you piss off in the process.
And then unfortunately, I think some people, they get confused with looking punk and then actually being punk.
I mean, to tell someone that they can't be punk, that's the most unpunk thing I've ever heard of in my whole fucking life.
Yeah.
And that's literally what happens. It's like, you're not punk. Hey, oh, okay. I didn't know you were the Messiah. Fuck. And then you're like, okay, Jesus, sit on your throne. It's all right. Or it's people who've got a corporate job and they glue down their little mohawk, and then they get to the shows, they're all rough and whatever, and they're like, yeah, you're not punk. And I'm like, yeah, you're getting into a Mercedes Benz. How punk are you? No offense. I'm not saying you can't be, but what the fuck are you angry about? Why are you angry? You're an accountant. Like, I'm not being rude, but why are you angry? You're going away like on a holiday in first class. Like, what are you angry? Fuck the system. But the system paying your ass. Like, okay.
You love the system.
Yeah.
It's amazing when you see how it's changed, because you go from the Ramones in New York or the Sex Pistols in England, and it was a very different punk movement, right? And it's and people who have found it, I think the counterculture of it is so important. People get their feelings out. You know, they can rebel against society when things are wrong, and I think that never goes away.
Yeah, but
it's reinvented by the new generations.
No, definitely. I do find sometimes though people, and you know what? Music's completely evolved. It's evolving constantly. But the one thing is, when people feel that they own something and no one else can do it, that's really shit.
Or they think that just one thing defines it, like, and it has to be done this way, and then that's it. You can't try and change it, or have the attitude or have the message, but then let's say you don't look or
The
dress
way.
that in their mind you're supposed to, then they don't like that.
And to me, that's ridiculous. I mean, it's insane.
Now, I've seen like lots of videos of you live, and I've seen the crazy headdresses. When did you come up with this your performing style, and how has it evolved over the years you've been doing it?
Even a lot of people that ask us, oh, why do you not wear many items
swear
of
like a
clothing
pig
or
on
whatever?
stage.
Like, firstly, it's very hard
I
on
swear
stage.
like a fucking
But
pig.
even I've learned this, and I learned it even when we were selling soap. We were little kids, and we would wear like fucking ridiculous outfits, like big baggy pants and these
Fisherman jackets.
and fluffy boots or whatever. People would still say ugly things like, oh, you're a slut, you're a whore.
Oh,
And-
look at you in your homemade outfits, you losers, whatever.
Yeah.
Like writing ugly shit. We're like, okay, sorry.
And
like, jeez.
and even say like with the record label, people would say again, sluts, whores, or whatever. And when I look back at how we dress, it's like I'm dressing like everyone else, really. Just maybe I look better than you, and you don't like it. So
or maybe it's that we dress how we want, but we're not asking for your approval, and that fucks people off big time.
But for me, I realized people are gonna hate you anyway, and
No
they're
matter
gonna
what
say
you
the
do.
same dumb shit anyway. So you know what? Might as well I'm gonna get my tits out. I'm gonna paint them up, and I'm gonna wear whatever the fuck I want to wear because that's how I feel comfortable. And you're gonna call me ugly things either way. So
And at the end of
I'm
the
gonna do it
day,
my way.
the people who do resonate are the people who want to do that as well, but they're too scared because no one else is showing them that it's okay to do it. So I want to be that space where people are like, I will be myself. I don't care how you dress, like a monk, a nun, or you want to dress like
And I think
Wendy O. Williams. You want to wear whipped cream as an outfit, go for it. You be you. That's it.
And I think it's very important for people to also see, especially a female's body, because in like rock music, punk music, if a guy does it, let's say,
If a guy exploits a woman's body,
That's
it's great
cool.
for the album cover.
or even their own body, whatever, like fucking what's his name, Iggy Pop in those see-through pants, you can see the guy's dick.
You
man.
almost
Come
said
on.
you can see his vagina. Okay, yeah.
You can
What
see
the
his
fuck,
dick.
man? Okay.
Like he's all oiled up and he's got his six-pack
Come
and
on,
all that
and that's
stuff.
epic, man.
Uh,
Rock the fuck
Same
on,
with
earn it.
fucking the Rolling Stones, same with who else,
Let's
Red Hot Chili
yeah.
Peppers, Queens
There's-
of the Stone Age, Mastodon,
There's so many
Uh,
bands, and they're allowed to express themselves how they see
Blink-182
fit.
perform naked, no one says anything, but I think it's good
And even the
for-
dwarves.
for people to see females doing the exact same thing, playing music how they want to express themselves, comfortable with their body, whatever, and for them to see it in a non-sexual way.
I mean, there was a band called Rock Bitch, and people have compared us to them before. But the thing is, I really appreciate it. And
I think they're
it's,
fucking cool.
I think it's
but
awesome what they did. But their nudity was a sexual thing.
yeah, they were
would
having
throw-
sex on stage,
and they would throw a condom out to the audience.
and then
to have
whoever
sex.
had the golden condom, then they would go backstage and bang
Have
them.
sex. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you know what? So that's fucking
That's
liberty.
fine,
Rock
yeah.
on. But that's not our thing. We're about wearing whatever the fuck you want. Whether sometimes I'm wearing boots and granny pants and like my boobs are painted. Sometimes they're not. I don't actually give a
And
fuck.
unfortunately, not everyone's gonna get it. Like some people are just gonna see, tits.
But no one
like-
that goes to our show and experiences it thinks that way. I mean, for goodness sake, you need to confront the idea that how you dress and how you see the world isn't necessarily how everyone else does. And the more you confront it with people who aren't like you, the better it is.
And also, like, you know, you
That's a
asked
good
about our
point.
stage crowns. I think, well, for me and her too, I know.
Yeah.
When you go on stage, it's
You're putting on a show,
putting
man.
on a show, and like you don't want to dress how you do.
I mean,
every day.
grunge is fucking cool. I love stripped down music and everything, but I also don't agree with laziness for myself. When I'm on stage, I want to
wanna-
watch a show.
And it's like being a superhero. You put on your thing, and there we go. Like if I don't feel like
Different to
nice
how
or
I do
whatever,
every day, then I'm like,
like even
Yeah.
in sound check, like it's completely different to the live show.
It's
I'm not
com-
gonna go crazy and that in the
I
sound
do.
check.
but still. But yeah, but sometimes I'm wearing like a jersey. I'm like, wow, I'd never perform like this.
And then if someone wants to take a picture while you're doing the sound check, it's like, this looks shit.
I feel like a loser.
I feel like
yeah.
a dumbass because I'm not even putting on a fucking thing for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, having the costume and making it really exciting and as part of the show, it just gets people excited and you get
I
up there, the
agree.
energy gets
Same
going.
with
Sure.
sports. Yeah.
Same, even what's that guy who does what's his name? Bruce Springsteen. His outfit, even though it's just jeans and a fucking
That's his
thing
symbol.
and his thing.
Carefully
that's
thought
his
out.
suit.
Yeah, carefully
There we go.
worked out
That's-
over the years. Yeah.
Yeah, that's his suit.
So, what can we expect to see from you guys when life starts to open up again? What can't you wait to do again?
Oh,
we can't wait to get on the road.
We've got a tour booked for next year. We had one for this year, but you see, the thing is like canceling, and no, it's so fucking uncertain, man. So we're gonna continue to do the live stream shows. We fucking love the connection and the epic community of people, our soapsuds, and we will continue that until the day we leave for the tour. So people will be with us, like even until we're going to vlog it. We'll actually be more interactive.
Yeah.
This whole pandemic has taught us to actually embrace social media
and
even more.
To show people more, yeah.
Like, don't be afraid. Like, even when shit goes wrong, don't like hide it. Like,
you don't need to show people perfection all the time. Like, they should see
like the
tour
van breaking down, or if something's going wrong,
if they don't sell cashew nuts.
No, man.
No,
like if shit's going down, I think it's great when people get to experience it with you. So we're gonna be doing more live streams. We started moving into a new house so that the cops can't get called on us again. Like even today we like
that's
rushing.
So rock and roll.
It's fucking insane. So
you guys
we're gonna
are so
be
loud
doing,
the cops come turn you down.
like every
it's not
time.
even that loud though. It's just the neighbors hate us.
They call us the spawn of Satan.
Not all of them, just the one house. They're the only people that complain.
Fucking hate us. They're like super religious, and when we moved in, they were like, "You don't belong here."
You're like, huh?
Okay,
Jebediah.
All right. And then
you guys should do a comedy show or a reality show. We got a couple comments. They should do a reality show. I think that's coming.
Oh, we would love that.
I would watch it.
Even sometimes when we're all feuding, then we've got this camera and we're putting this on in the kitchen to see who is the source of being the cunt. And we're like, and then we put it on and then you just see everyone like eating in the kitchen and it's like, you
finished my cereal,
you fucking bitch. No, we just laugh. Like first we have the camera, then after it's like, it's just, we just laugh.
It's like, oh shit.
How do you put together 4 3-hour shows a week on live streams? Like, how do you put your rep together? How do you put the sets together?
Lots of crack.
Okay, wait. Do you see some of like this is like nothing, but we've got like by now thousands of different drawings. So each week we do themes, and we each paint like different characters. We make props and characters and stuff, and then we just continue. Even we've got a fourth album.
I will say it's our fans that really keep us going and push us too, because when you get messages from people saying thank you so much, I used to hate Mondays and now I love them,
it makes us motivated.
It's like, oh shit, like even if you're feeling down or shit, then it's like you read this message, you're like, you know what, I fucking gotta do this.
Like we would have felt completely lost without doing music during the lockdown. Look, it's not ideal. Normally on stage I run and
like
play,
this stage is
and
small.
I throw my bass up, and it's insane. And we love the chaos, we love the big amps, the energy. But the fact is, I feel completely ready to get on a big stage, or whatever stage, or bigger than this stage.
Even though people that watch the live stream, they're not in the room with us, it feels like they are.
So like we would get off a plane today, and maybe tomorrow I need a little bit of sleep, and then we would like be ready. We're ready for the show, and that's how we've always been. I mean, a lot of people won't put something out till it's like 100% perfect. Our stuff, it's raw and real.
Raw, yeah.
Some people do live streams, but they rehearse it and then they film it, and it's not live.
Which, I mean, that's cool.
But like they're that anal about making it perfect. I mean, that's great, but at the same time,
also,
I think
just do it.
Just do it. Like, what the fuck are you afraid of, man?
And maybe also not all the bandmates can be in one room on the same day.
No, but when you can, I don't get it, man. Like, let that energy, that feel, it's different live. So even for us, we know people are watching. It's like shit. Like, you can't go back and change that.
Like, even we did a live stream where we were all on
mushroom. Oh, I was on magic mushrooms.
Or even we were all on edibles.
So this is how it went.
Were the tempos slower?
Oh, let me explain this whole thing.
It was
to
a
you.
fuck up.
Okay, wait. So I love magic mushrooms. I think they're amazing. And since the lockdown, I was indulging in them, and I think that they're fucking life changing. So our manager.
She's also now in a wheelchair.
No, shut up, man. Our manager. Well, you'd have to push me, so shut up. Don't curse yourself. On our manager, she was like, you know what? You gonna take some mushrooms. She said some of the best musicians did their best shows on mushrooms. So I was like, I don't know about that, hey? Because I was like, when I take them, I get in my head. It's amazing.
No one's fucking done shows on mushrooms.
When I'm on mushrooms, I feel like Spider-Man. I'm like seeing every hair. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, everyone was talking about Hendrix on LSD during Woodstock and stuff like that. I can't imagine trying to do a show like
Yeah, I saw a video and someone told
wait,
me.
we need to finish the story. Okay, wait.
Oh, so keep going.
So I was on the mushrooms. I didn't recommend it to my sister or Sam, the drummer, because he was from England and he was staying here, and he was also locked down with us. He was stuck here for 9 months.
So I had an edible,
but you made like ridiculously strong brownies.
I don't do like She
doesn't even drink.
I don't drink.
Coffee makes her feel like she's on drugs.
So. Like weed and that kind of stuff. When people are like, "Oh, you should smoke weed," it doesn't suit me. So like, at all, it's not my thing. Like it's a bad reaction.
Everyone was like on a different kind of high. Now the edibles made my sister and the drummer like very paranoid. They kept thinking the cops were arriving. They were like, cops. And I heard people's heartbeats. I heard someone take a footstep on like paper and it crinkled and it like went through me. But I looked down, instead of 4 strings, there were like 19. There was no floor. I was standing on the edge of the earth. I was like, shit.
We had to restart the same song.
I think it was like a 4-hour show.
Yeah,
it was fucked.
Yeah,
fucked.
I look at the older rock stars, like the Ramones, for example. They all became health nuts, didn't they?
Yeah.
I wonder why, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I would do a show again on mushrooms, but not 3 grams. I mean, I would leave it at maybe 1.5 grams, but I had to do a show on acid once because someone didn't tell me that it was acid. And
I looked at her, I was like, whoa,
no.
fucked.
Sam's an epic manager, but like, okay, I can drink and I love Jack Daniels, I love bourbon, I love whiskey, like anything like that, and I can handle it.
Shit, girl, the battery's gonna die on
this. Oh, fuck. If I couldn't handle my alcohol, then Sam would be like, that's it, no alcohol, because she's very, like, if you can't handle something, don't do it. And the one tour, someone, this hippie guy, he made her, for her birthday, a whole batch of what she thought were like, or it was meant to only be weed cookies. There was weed and acid. So when I drink, I get really, really hungry, and we were staying in this empty apartment above the venue. So the next morning I was like, I can risk it. It's weed. Like, I'll take a little bite, like 10 hours, I should be fine. The gig's in 10 hours. So I took it. Within half an hour, I started feeling very weird. Like my skin was growing, then it was sewing itself, and people were talking, their voices were getting loud and stuff. I looked like an idiot. I was just like, and then I just tried to sleep it off, and Sam's like, what's wrong? And she looked at me and my eyes were like sausage. She's like, fuck. And I'm like, I was like, fuck, I fucked up. And then I had to do the show, but she gave the support band, she gave the sound guy, she gave everyone. So that everyone was fucked. Thank God, because I couldn't move. Whenever I do any kind of psychedelic drug, instead of me moving around like I normally do, I go still. I'm like paranoid. And my sister was like sane, and she's all cool and smiles. You see the photo of me on the stage, and my eyes, I'm sweating. I'm like no one put the photos out. They just said they won't do it to me. They sent them to me, but they said they won't do that. And I was like, thank you.
Like I looked at her from across the stage, and I was like, oh my God,
fuck,
this is gonna be.
People were pirouetting. The one weird thing was, and we felt a little bit like we conflicted in this, but
the promoter guy, he contacted us after. He said, thank you so much.
He had 4 of them. He had 4 of these cookies.
You enlightened me. This experience enlightened me so much. So
I've had a sex change.
And then he became a woman.
Whoa.
We're like, fuck.
Like,
found his true form and followed.
Yeah, no, but
crazy.
we were just like, he gave someone like a drug that changed, like, damn, we were like,
it wasn't our fault.
Yeah, but fuck, I don't know. Hey, if he's happy, whatever. But we were still just like, shit. Like, people were pirouetting. The one guy thought his shoes were trying to kill him. He was screaming and crying.
And he was like walking like this across the floor and saying, they're gonna get me. And we were like, dude, calm down. It's fine.
Yeah, it was insane. We've had mosh pits and that also, where we're on the stage and we're like,
like people are like beating each other,
and we have to say stop, please.
And it's just like, whoa, because like some people there, you can see that they had like animosity before the show or something, and then
to be honest, it is a little bit funny for a bit, and then I'm like,
okay,
it's not
funny.
Cool.
Like someone just going like,
yeah. So what has all this craziness, COVID craziness, all the separation, and all the things you've learned to do, what's that taught you about yourselves during this period?
that I got a strong immunity.
I
No, I'm
think it's taught
joking.
me that we have the best fans in the world. Like, it's not that we've always appreciated the people that support us, but now more than ever, the people that support us, we couldn't live without their support.
Our soap suds.
Our soap suds are fucking amazing.
They're all over the chat, just loving you guys. It's really awesome.
It's a family. It's a whole fucking epic community. All individuals. Look, some people are completely on the opposite sides of like most things, but same love of music, same passion for speaking your mind,
and open-mindedness,
and animal rights, which is fucking sick. So that's in that we find a sense of deep connection to everyone, and we love it. I mean, we don't have to agree with everyone. They don't agree with us on everything, but hey, the fact that we don't judge people for speaking their minds, and the fact, well, they can judge if they want, but
and I think also COVID has taught us, and I know even a lot of our fans, because so like we do a theme show, each show is a different theme. It's taught us like how to be more creative, like with painting. Like she didn't ever know like she could do
I never liked art at school. I used to hate it, to be dead honest.
Makeup transformation,
because I thought I couldn't do it,
like turn yourself into a different character. And even a lot of our fans, we see they'll post a picture of their look for each show, because like,
it's like a fucking makeup pro, and I'm like, what the fuck, how did this they've like transformed. I'm like, oh my god,
that, like this has given them, they've learned that they are pretty artistic.
And also I think it's taught a lot of people, it's taught me that I'm a lot more capable of things than I ever thought I was. I mean, look, it's given me a lot of time to enjoy, like, you know, being with our pets and everything, but it's also taught me that I belong on the road, and I actually don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if
I belong to the road.
I don't give a fuck if I don't get to sleep in my own bed for like a year or 2 years straight. I just want to be on the fucking road. Sorry.
Hope comes real soon. I hope that comes real soon. Fingers crossed, because I know that everyone can't wait to get back to seeing shows live again, and to the excitement of hearing the bass drum in your body, and the guitars and the amps and the great shows.
You know when the drinks like in the venue like drop down with the bass, you're like, yeah.
No, I know when like the show's gonna be good when the drummer plays the bass drum, and then it's like, you know, when it goes through your chest. Then it's like, okay, this is going to be good.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
The energy gets pumped up. And, well, I want to thank you guys both for joining us today. You guys are awesome, and can't wait to see you live. Do you have any plans to come to the States?
Oh,
yes. We so want to come to the States.
That's the one thing about, and also thank you so fucking much for having us on your show. It's been fun. One thing that I really... I do feel shit about, like, during COVID, like we had plans we always tour the UK and Europe, but we were going to go to Japan because our music broke out. We had like albums there, everything. But
then that all got put on hold because,
and also for America, and then like everything like to do with visas and that just gone. So, but I will say one thing.
That is like a huge dream of ours, to come into America.
I will say nothing is impossible. And one thing I hope other people take from us is this. Look at the map of the world and look where South Africa is. It's right at the bottom. We were two kids singing, selling soap. Wait, let me just get a basket of soap. Just hold up one sec. And hold up. I just want you to visualize.
Started from small and then we grew. No.
It's a great story.
Oh, thank you. This is one of the baskets.
This is one of the baskets, okay? And we would saying that's weather beaten and fucked up. It used to be neon. So we would each stand, and we've got some of our soaps in here. Okay, it's beat up now.
It's got some cat hair on it.
Ooh, okay. But still, like we were street performing, and we knew where we wanted to go.
And we always dreamed of traveling and going to all these different countries, and we'd meet people from those countries and be like, oh my god, where's
awesome, like everything. And we never ever let our circumstances, and we never ever let the shit that had us down
define like where
our
we wanted
future.
to go.
Yeah. We will never ever say to someone that anything's impossible. Nothing is impossible as long as you believe enough in it and you're determined.
If you have hope, then you have everything.
You can get
a story that could apply to anyone, and we all need that. And kids who are watching this, and people all over the world. There's people watching who've been commenting from all over the States. We've seen some South Africa. So what a message! Just dive in, work hard, and follow your dreams.
And never give up. Also, people, you know what? The thing
and don't play shows on acid.
Yeah, But never give up on what you believe in. That's another thing. Like, so many people, they have dreams and then they let other people talk them out of it. Don't. Shit's gonna get rough. You're gonna go hungry. But if you believe enough in what you're doing, it will happen. You just gotta keep going for it
and just take the risk, because nothing in life is guaranteed anyway.
Imagine, I get so freaked out. Like, imagine we hadn't gone to England and we wouldn't have all the amazing people in our lives. Like, I don't know. Imagine,
I would hate my life.
Like, fuck. Like, everything happened, the good and the bad, and I'm so fucking grateful that it led us to the path and the people that are in our lives now.
Well, I want to thank you both for spending the time here. The Soap Girls. Can't wait to... Now, you have a new album coming out soon? When are you planning on dropping the album?
Okay, the fourth album is called In My Skin, and we're very excited about it. Again, every album is very different.
But we'll probably release like a single, and then...
We released one single already. It's called Heart in Bloom, and there's a music video for it on YouTube. It's very diverse, very different to any of our other albums.
But that's the thing that we love. Each album is different.
You can't just say it's one genre. It's very different. If you're going to say the Soap Girls, just expect it to be everything from grunge to...
It's diverse.
I love that, because if it's too much the same, people just you can't do the same thing over and over again. It gets very boring and very that's where people burn out.
Yeah, but we're learning constantly. So like, we experience and we're like, okay, our minds are working very differently now, and it's really cool.
We don't want to release the album fully if we can't tour with it, because
look how sad this is. Before COVID hit, we had a double album. And we only got to tour with like one of the albums. Like, I mean, like, on it.
So then it's like, there's a lot of songs that we haven't played live on there either. And then we have this new album, and then we don't want to just release them. And then it just...
And then people are like, oh, where's your fifth now?
And it's like, okay, well...
Fuck. Like, shit. Like,
it's in the pipeline, right? It's getting ready.
Yeah. But so we are going to do it, but we will probably release it later this year and like closer to when we're going to head out on tour.
Well, that's
exciting.
I think
that's the best way.
Well, how can people find out more about you? Where do you send people? What's your best way to keep in touch with the Soap Girls?
Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
YouTube's also cool. So every Monday and every Saturday we do a show on YouTube.
Our channel is the Soap Girls Official. And then on
Friday and Thursday,
then we do a show on our Facebook page, also the Soap Girls. And then Wednesday is a rerun on YouTube of one of the live shows, and then it's a live chat. And then
Instagram, we're always interactive. Even TikTok, I hate TikTok. Sorry,
TikTok's a piece of shit, man.
I haven't gotten there yet. Yeah, I'm resisting that.
I have to tell you one thing about TikTok is they find fault with everything. Like even the one video that we put out, then they said it was what did they say? Criminal activity. They're taking it down for criminal activity and solicit substance abuse or some shit like that.
Oh, did you call it champagne cocaine?
No,
I didn't. Oh, yeah. Well, I was going to just say. Well,
No, I didn't. Like they'll find fault with anything, and then you
contest it.
You contest it. They give it back to you, but then they still ban you for like a week from posting or commenting. So it's like, and this is the fourth channel that we've had on there.
Nah, fuck that.
So just like
Instagram, YouTube, Facebook.
I just use it for the green screen videos.
Twitter's also cool for girls in chaos. Twitter is a lot of fun. It's got the least amount of censorship, but it's not my favorite platform. I won't lie, Twitter.
Yeah, we're gonna follow you guys now. I can't wait to see you live, but can't wait to see you guys in person again. And when you come to the States, you let me know. I'll be there in the audience.
That would be so sick. Okay, well, we can't fucking wait, and we really, really like hope everyone out there like just stay strong. Don't let people make you feel shit for having your own choice and your own opinion and stuff. And we can't wait till the world opens up again and people get to live again.
And also rock on with your 2 shows coming up.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, some classical. Yeah, I love talking with rock artists. You guys are fantastic, and I love your energy, and can't wait to see you guys back on the stage. And I'll check out one of your upcoming live shows. Can't wait to see them.
Thank you. And we'll check out like what you're doing as well. We think you fucking rock, man.
Awesome. Well, when I do classical music, I listen to rock and roll in the dressing room. Like I've always been a rock guy. My brothers are huge rock guys, Zeppelin and such, and I grew up listening to that. And when I started becoming a classical musician, I just love that energy of rock. It's like whenever I go to a great rock show, I'm like, classical needs that. It needs the same kind of energy.
Even metal is classical music played fast.
Yeah.
A lot of the times.
Like most metal artists, like heavy
black metal,
they're all classically trained musicians.
Sure. Yeah. To get that fast technique, you need that.
Yeah. Imagine, people think people at let's say at a rock concert, they think backstage people are all doing drugs and that, but it's just like this with incense. and then behind the scenes at a classical one, everyone's doing lines. Everyone's doing lines off the fucking the trombones. And no, I'm joking.
Not where I'm working, but that's but it's true. A lot of we had a Legion on the show. Legion's got a pretty big following. They're a heavy metal band, and the guy's got a master's in classical guitar, and he's a very serious artist, and they're just fine. It's just fascinating.
I think it's fucking sick when people defy what anyone would. It's bad to have an assumption of anyone, and I think it's just so epic when someone literally smacks that in the face and they defy every idea that someone would attach to them.
People want to put people in boxes, and humans are so interesting and different, and that's why I love talking to artists, because you learn something every time.
Hey, that is true. Well, thank you.
Well, girls, best of luck. Can't wait to see you back on the stage and doing what you're born to be doing. Keep on making people happy.
Hey, well, thank you.
Thank you
I just wanted to reiterate, my stomach made a very weird sound. It sounded very dodgy, but that was my stomach.
You're lying.
Shut up, man. No, I didn't. I so did not, but I'm just saying that was a very weird sound.
This is the most fun interview I've ever done. You guys keep on up and keep on rocking, ladies.
Thank you so fucking much, man. Have a beautiful...
Thank you for joining us on Music Matters, Jason Tramm. And if you like what you heard, please make a super chat or just follow us. And we do lots of different things. We have classical musicians, we have rock musicians, and everything in between. So remember, keep music alive.